I've been avoiding this Peter Pan and Wendy trailer for as long as possible because I'm over it with Disney live action remakes. I don't even know if I've watched any of them. I don't think I've watched a single one when I really think about it. They just don't interest me at all. But that being said, I'm sick of the whole modern remake thing, modern audiences, all that kind of stuff. But this is what peeps are talking about right now, and I have been asked to react to the trailer, so let's do it. We all know, like, the classic cartoon of Peter Pan was incredible, but judging just off of some of the little stuff I've seen with screenshots and all that, all right. I'm just going to keep the volume down really low and keep it smaller screen because of copyright issues, and I don't want to deal with that. So let's check this out. I'll turn off that captions.
How did you come to Neverland?
All right, that looks like Wendy, I guess. Lost Boys? Oh. Okay. Oh, they gotta add Lost Girls to the Lost Boys. Because, of course, this is starting out swimmingly. Okay. Okay, Black Tinkerbell. Here's a character who, hey, she wasn't a redhead swapped, but here's a character who is, super fair, very, very fair-skinned, blonde hair. It is a bit jarring, not gonna lie. And then Peter Pan appears to be race swapped as well, which I'm not sure what exactly his race is, but definitely a bit jarring there. I think especially if I don't know all of Peter Pan canon. I'm not some Peter Pan super fan. All right. But I just know when I'm thinking of a Disney movie of something, I'm thinking of its original cartoon counterpart from Disney, animated counterpart. And in that case, Peter Pan was redheaded, light-skinned, had pointy ears. He looked like an elf. So I will say, aesthetically speaking, visually speaking, the accuracy isn't there. I mean, at least Tinkerbell is pretty, because it's awful whenever they take a character who was already, known for being really pretty. And Tinkerbell, everybody knows Tinkerbell. She always had it going on, right? But I hate it when they purposefully make them uglier, which they have it in this case because she is pretty, but I typically don't like to see race swaps, especially when it doesn't make sense. I don't think that was necessary, and I don't think that gets recognized as Tinkerbell. I wish that instead of just race swapping characters, they would write original characters for if they want to add more diversity or whatever it may be. Write original stories, original characters. And honestly, I've said this time and time again, there are some things, if something is like predominantly one race, that's okay to do sometimes. You don't have to have diversity in absolutely everything. We can watch Black Panther and enjoy it with a black cast, just like we can watch something else like, old school Peter Pan that had a predominantly white cast. I don't know. Okay.
What do you say, boys? You ready for an adventure? It looks very far away.
It's closer than you think.
That was cringe. I don't know what else to say, but that was cringe. The slow-mo effects, okay, that was cringe.
What is it that you're afraid of? Perhaps I don't want to grow up. Hold the past in your heart, but where you go from here.
Something tells me they're gonna do the what makes the red man red. What makes the red man red? I don't think they're gonna do that. Something tells me they won't. Unfortunately. Cause that was classic, man.
Wendy, Moira, Angela, darling. Where is Peter Pan?
This has every like movie trailer cliche in it right now. The slow-mo, the I don't know why I'm getting some sort of deja vu with this actress. I don't know what I've seen of her before, or I don't know what the crap. I'm getting some sort of something. Like I've seen her somewhere, but I can think of 500 million billion things I would rather watch than this. That's the thing about this though, and with pretty much when you're looking at the live action remakes and stuff that Disney makes in general, they just look boring to me. This is why I haven't watched a single one of them that I could think of. One of these, like, I'm trying to think, like, the first one I could think of was Beauty and the Beast. I didn't watch that. Didn't watch Aladdin. Didn't watch, didn't they have a Dumbo one? I haven't watched any of it. Lion King, all that. Because what it looks like is just, for some reason, they're not that creative and they're not that whimsical with it. And they're not, it's just boring. It's just boring and dull and just too much, too grounded, I guess. Even though in this case, okay, you have people flying. You got the Lost Boys and the Lost Girls. You got Tinkerbell, the little fairy. But it's just dull. This just doesn't do anything for me. Like I can't imagine wanting to take time out of my day to watch this. It just looks boring. I almost feel like whenever they make stuff like this and then they do the whole race swaps, gender swaps, stuff like that, they do this kind of thing because they want some sort of immunity, because inevitably when people watch this or don't watch it because, hey, it looks boring and unoriginal, then they can always clap back and say, oh, it's because of racism. It's because of racism, which is stupid. But I honestly, if it was good work, you know what I mean? And then they had a race swap in it, we could be fine with it. And it's not always ideal. It's nice to look at the characters and have them look like the characters that they're interpreting. But just saying, there have been times where they've done race or even gender swaps that, people didn't complain too much about because, hey, it was good. They did a good job somehow. They proved us wrong type thing. You know what I mean? Not even necessarily proved us wrong, but they made it work, right? But in this case, I just feel like this looks very boring. Just astronomically boring. I feel like even if I was a kid, there's no way. If I was a kid, I would be laughing at this. I would first of all be like, what the crap? I would have been what the crapping over the Lost Boys, having girls in the Lost Boys. They're called the Lost Boys. But it's 2023. You can be anything you want. If you want to be a boy, I guess you can do it. Oh my gosh. But anyway, yeah. That's one thing about current modern Hollywood, is that they just lack any ounce of creativity. And whenever they're remaking stuff, or not even just Hollywood, this is with video games as well, everything is just too boring. It just lacks fun, whimsy, creativity, that sort of thing. And I'm just over it. We're so hurting for entertainment these days. Almost everything sucks. It is so bad. And then they just shove this woke ideology into everything because, like, it feels like, I don't even know if that's completely a cop out or if it's also because, like I also say in my videos too, is people who don't really care about whatever they're making and they're not necessarily into it in general, but they want to change it anyway. Okay? Like we see with gaming and non-gamers who hijack the space. I don't know. But this was so lackluster and boring. There's just no freaking way I'll watch this. I ain't watching any... Also, the Little Mermaid stuff, no. It just looks boring. They have anytime they have any sort of interpretation of a character that was an animal in these cartoons or in these animated movies, and they just use that same animal, but with nothing to change or make it unique or animate the face a little bit or anything. It's just, oh, okay, here's a lion. Here we have Simba about to get stampeded, and he's just looking blankly into the things, into it. It just doesn't have the same charm as the animated features for those reasons. And yeah, I don't know. This looks boring. But anyway, let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Thank you so much for hanging out with me today. I'll catch you next time. And in the meantime, go boom.
I won't obey.